Alright, 52 agility, we're out of here. We can now do the wilderness agility course, which is the second of 3 agility courses I have to do on this account. 143 werewolf skull laps is something I don't want to do again. We did get level 32 farming, which means we can now play on Rarghs. So now we have to head to the wilderness, and in order to prepare for that, I want to get rid of all of the runes that I have in my inventory, all the herbs, everything, just to minimize any sort of risk that I can have on this account. Welcome to the wilderness. We are getting ourselves a cape to signify our bravery for going this far deep into the wilderness. We're going to be stuck in level 53, 54, 55 wilderness for the whole entire time that we're here. And as you can see in my inventory, I have absolutely nothing to my name besides a lot of cakes, some herbs, and like basically no gold at this point. And just in case you don't know, if I do die here, everything I have on me will be gone, no matter what. I can't protect an item, I cannot keep my top 3 items, it will be absolutely gone. I am at the mercy of whoever decides to come up here. Alright, okay, so we finally made it in. The Wilderness Agility course came out on January 28th, 2003, and it's nothing too special mechanically like the Werewolf Skullball course was. It's basically like a rooftop agility course where you just click the same points every single time in a big circle, except this time we're in the deep wilderness. And I will have to do roughly like 265 laps of this, which should only be a few hours here, but being in the deep wilderness, anything could happen. So I would definitely like to be out of here as soon as possible. Alright, so we are back in Rargh. We have survived the wilderness, and now we have to go to the Werewolf Skullball course. And the one thing about the Werewolf Skullball course is that there's this thing at the very end where it heavily depends on your strength level and your weight. And I would very much love to have below 0 kilograms, which is why I'm going to be selling everything here to the general store, and my staff back to Zaf Staffs over across the street. So we're still going to have a very limited inventory because of the Werewolf Skullball course. So after I sell everything and get my inventory sorted, I'll head over to the Werewolf Skullball course and we can get started. Welcome to the Werewolf Agility course, and this does not need a big of an explanation as the Werewolf Skullball course does, because it's a really straightforward and simple course. But as you saw in the beginning, that werewolf in the yellow suit, he threw a stick, and that stick is going to spawn in this little area right here. Now after you pick up the stick, you're going to want to go to your left right here up the skull slope, and you're going to be met with the zipline. Now the zipline is the only dangerous part of this course and can deal upwards of 30 damage. Now I only have 31 HP, which means I have to be at max HP at all times so I don't get chanced and potentially die. Like here, I just took 11 damage. And since I didn't reach the very end of the zipline, I don't get the max XP, and at the end of the course, I have to hand the stick in to this guy right here. If I don't hand in the stick, I do not get the lap count, and I don't get the bonus XP, but I should be here for about a few hundred courses, like 4 or 5, I didn't do the math, but I have to be here for about 7 hours, that I do know. The massive downside of the Werewolf Agility course is that I have to constantly refill on food, and this will greatly lengthen the time it will take to reach my level 70 agility goal. Also, I have decided in between runs I will pickpocket the Master Farmer just outside of West Arty because I have to restock on seeds and restart my farm runs again. And one seed that I am specifically looking for right now is the Heartlander seed, which at level 26 Herblore, I can make energy potions which restore 10% of my run energy per dose. And I do believe it'll make my runs just a bit easier because I do find myself running out of run energy pretty often while doing the Werewolf Agility course. Just hit level 25 Herblore, which now means we can now clean Rargh weeds, which is one step closer to be able to make prayer potions. So at the very bottom of my inventory, I do have 10 Rarghs right now and 11 strawberries. And the Rarghs are of course going to be used for prayer potions, but the strawberries, I'm going to be using the strawberries, putting it into a basket full of strawberries, and that's going to be my main food for the fight caves. When the time comes, I guess I could go into a lot of detail on how the basket full of strawberries is my best food compared to like Ceradorman potions, but until then I'm going to be collecting all the strawberries I can possibly get. 26 Herblore, which now means we can make energy potions. For energy potions, there are 2 things that you need, the Heartlander and the Chocolate Dust. The Chocolate Dust can be obtained from the baker in the adorned square, so that should be no problem. The problem is that I just need a bunch of Heartlanders right now. And of course, the only way I can obtain those Heartlanders is through farming. So there is a fishing spot in Karamja near the fairy ring. I think it's CKS or CJR or something along that. It's near the nature altar. And this fishing spot gives you raw Karambuanji, whatever it's called. And that is a snackable food, as you can see here. I get 5 every time I fish for it, and I can hand it over to my kitten here. And it's a big time saver because originally I would go to Rufus and Canifus, who would sell me raw trout or salmon, and that costs inventory space and time, whereas this is stackable, and I can just fish hundreds of them and not come back to this area for a long time. Okay, I just died, and I lost my cat. And yeah, it took me like 7.5 minutes to get back. It's not a huge deal. I had to walk from Lumbridge to Mauritania. I had to go to Dr. Finkenstrain to get my ring back so I can enter back here. And like that took about like 7.5 minutes. The only issue is that we need to get another cat. Dude, oh my god. Okay, so we just finally got a Horrorlander seed. I have been searching this thing for like hours on end. Because Horrorlanders, they get us, where is it? Energy potions. We just need chocolate dust. Please let this be a maze. Please. Yes! Oh my god, this is my first maze. So we finished with 67%, and let's see what we get. We got ourselves 65 death runes, 6 nature runes, and 130 chaos runes. Alright, so I got myself 6 Horrorlander potions, and I just talked to this baker here in Ordoin Square, and I can buy myself 6 chocolate bars. Now I need to take these chocolate bars, use them on the pestle and mortar, and they turn into chocolate dust. And I just need to put this chocolate dust inside the Horrorlander potion, and that will give us our energy potion. If you are by any chance curious about the math, each lap drains my run energy by 15. I do have 4.5 doses of energy potions, which means I have 180 run energy stored in these potions, which means 180 divided by 15 will be 12, I believe. So that is 12 laps I can do without skipping a beat. So after getting 70 agility, to be honest, I'm pretty burnt out. However, we did finish our first of 3 parts of our 3-part plan to get level 43 prior. So now we are on step 2, and step 2 consists of 2 parts. Doing quests to expedite to lower the amount of bones required, and then actually obtaining all of our bones for 43 prior. And we can cut some corners by doing some quests, and after analyzing all the available quests I have left to do on this account that award prayer experience, there are 3 that make some sense. And those 3 are Mountain Daughter, Making History, and Spirit of the Elid. Mountain Daughter gives us 2,000 prayer experience, making history 1,000, and the Spirit of Elid with a whopping 8,000 prayer experience. And this all totals out to 11,000 prayer experience, which wipes out 38 dragon bones and brings our total down from 118 to 70 bones that are required for level 43 prayer. While the Spirit of the Elid offers a huge amount of prayer experience, it does not come at a light cost. One of the requirements for the quest is 37 range, which is a combat skill we have not touched at all on this account. So I am going to have to divert off the road a bit and complete Horror from the Deep, as that gives me a free 1 through 20 range boost, and I could just train at Rock Labs near Relica from 20 to 37. Not only does this allow me to do the Spirit of the Elid, but it does finally get us started on a range grind, which will be our preferred method of combat during the fight caves. And with all of that being said, let's get back into it by starting out with Mountain Daughter. The only thing worth mentioning about Mountain Daughter outside of the 2000 prayer experience is the Bear Head, and the Bear Head does provide some pretty decent defensive bonuses, but it does negate some of your magic and range attack. So this may or may not be something I might keep around for a little bit. And if not, I could just drop it and come back and pick it back up later. Here's Mountain Daughter completed, so we do get our 2000 prayer experience and level 33 prayer out of this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use this red berry pie, and we're gonna give it to that big guy down at Mud Skipper Point, because we're gonna be doing the Knight's Sword. Why are we doing the Knight's Sword? Because we need smithing levels. We need to get level 20 smithing in order to do Elemental Workshop. Why are we doing Elemental Workshop? It's because I don't want to train 4 levels of drafting. I'd rather just quest it. And we gotta go all the way to Varrock. And that reminds me, speaking of Varrock, we have to go north of Varrock. What's north of Varrock? It's the wilderness. What's in the wilderness? Iron bars. Why do I need iron bars? Because I don't have 15 smithing. Oh my goodness. I'm just here getting my iron bars, and there's just fight happening, and I just stumbled upon it. I don't know what to do. I'm just watching. Please try and get it quickly. I'm scared to survive, and we'll find out. All right, I got you, man. Don't worry. Hey, man, by the way, did you know that your squire lost your sword? Got ourselves a sword, and we give the sword to the squire, which means boom, the knight's sword is completed, and we also get level 29 smithing. This will be Elemental Workshop 1, and this does get us a few crafting levels, but enough to, level 26 that is, enough to get the Sapphire Amulet, so that's all that matters. So I just finished another mace event, and we got 240 steel arrows, which is okay, because it helps with our range training, and 8 mithril ore, which I don't see a use in, so I'm just going to sell it. Alright, let's make this. Oh my god. Alright, it took way longer than it should have. But we have ourselves a Sapphire Amulet U. Bang, bang, boom, Sapphire Amulet. Making history is completed. We do get 34 prayer, which unlocks incredible reflexes on top of 28 crafting. And now everything that I've done for the past 15-20 hours of gameplay has all led up to this. To use this little pipe right here that requires 70 agility. So firstly, I'm going to be using Wind Bolt to use all my Chaos runes. Then I'm going to use all my Death runes by using Wind Blast. And I'm going to be sitting here in this little area because as you can see, the blue dragon cannot attack me whatsoever. So for the next few hours, I'm going to be between here and Port Phasmatis, obtaining dragon bones and turning those dragon bones into prayer XP. So basically what I do after getting like 10, 11, 12 dragon bones, I head over to the Port Phasmatis general store here. I get some buckets, I get some pots, and I turn the bones into bone meal into the pot, and then get the buckets of slime, do the whole process to get the prayer experience, go back to the Taverly dungeon, and that's the whole process. And repeat that for a couple of times until I have 43 prayer. 37 prayer! We just unlocked our first protection prayer with Protect from Magic. So we just hit 38 prayer, and I used all the remaining death runes on the last trip I just did, which means we need to get more. Now this guy here won't be a full-grown cat until... ooh. A while. So we need to get 42 more dragon bones before I hit our goal, and that is including the Spirit of the Elite quest reward of 8,000 prayer experience. So 42 more blue dragons, and let's say that takes about 25 death runes each kill. And I think that might be overestimating it, but 42 times 25 is 1,050. And I'm pretty sure 1,050 death runes is certainly not going to come our way anytime soon, given our abysmal money situation. But I do have an alternative idea. So here we are at Filled Up Hills, and right over there is the one and only death rune spawn in the game. I tried looking for when this spawn came into the game, but it was in RuneScape Classic, so that's good enough for me, so I can safely take this without breaking my year restriction. So once this aggression timer wears off from the wolves and ogres, I can safely pick up this death rune one at a time per world, so I'll have to be hopping hundreds of worlds to be able to create a decent stack of death runes. We are back in the Taverly dungeon with 672 now death runes, took me about a little bit over an hour to get. Plus I turned in my cat, got a new kitten, so we're good. We're going to need 24 more dragon bones until we get 40 prayer, which should only take about like an hour or so at most. I missed a level, but we just got level 50 magic, so we can now use Ivan's Blast, which unfortunately for us is locked at 120 cast per charge, since the ability to upgrade it to 2500, I think it is. Cast came out in 2014 in Old School RuneScape. However, we do get another unlock, which is a much more viable option, is the Slayer Dart spell. But we do need level 55 Slayer to be able to use it though, but it has no charge requirement and it's extremely cheap to use when compared to other spells like the God spells, for example. Alright, so we just got an absolutely huge unlock for the account at level 40 prayer, as we can now use Protect from Missiles. And I haven't wanted to do this for a while, as I wanted to complete the Horror from the Deep quest, as that does give me enough range experience for level 20. We do also get the damage book, which provides a +5 prayer bonus, which will be our best in slot offhand at Barrows, as we will need all the prayer bonus we can get. We are about to fight the final boss of this quest, and the final boss of this quest is the Dagannoth Mother. And her mechanics are pretty interesting, I think, as the boss switches different colors, and each color represents which attack style she is vulnerable to. She has 6 different colors she cycles through, and I will only be doing 4 of them, which are all the magic ones: air, water, earth, and fire. The 2 other ones, melee and range, are not exactly viable for me, since I want to keep out of her melee distance, and with level 1 range, I will not be able to land a blow at her at all. So since I'm using magic, I'm going to be using the best magic gear I can quickly gather, and what I did was I got the magic black hat and the magic amulet. Alright, so I have her kinda safe spotted-ish, because I'm safe from her melee attacks, but her range attacks, she fires every now and then. It's not really a particular order, so I am going to camp Protect from range just to be safe. And also I do have to brew up every now and then to be able to use Earth Wave, and I should be able to get the kill as long as I don't make any major mistakes. This should be the final one here. Yep, alright, cool. So we do complete Horror from the Deep quest, and we do get, let's see here, level 20 range, as we said before. And we can now, okay, we have level 51 magic, and we also do level 33 strength. And the main reason why we did this quest is so that we can get the damage book. Now, we do have an option of Saradomin, Zamorak, and Guthix, and we're going to choose Zamorak, because with Zamorak, the offensive styles, like all the melee, magic, and range, we do get a +8 if we can somehow get all 4 pages to make the Holy Book. And when we wield our damage book, we do get a +5 prayer bonus for a total of a 16 prayer bonus with the monk's robe and everything. So that, with a combination of the protection prayers, I should be pretty safe. and it also does help out with the prayer potion thing since it's not easy to come by Ranars. So yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. Taking a peek here at the range guide in game, we can now use Willow Bows at level 20 range, and we can also use the set of leather body and chaps, and also the coif. And we are going to be training out rock crabs until we get level 37 ranged. As for the Spirit of the Elid quest, that is what we're going to need. Hickton here in Catherby will be able to sell me the studded body and the studded chaps. Here at Lowe's, we're going to get the Willow Shortbow and the Maple Shortbow. The Maple Shortbow we're going to be able to use at level 30 range. We're also going to buy a bunch of iron arrows, and with our cash stack, it's not looking like we're going to get a whole lot, because these iron arrows are actually being pretty expensive, a lot more expensive than I thought they were going to be. And last but not least, Scavo here in the Champions Guild will allow me to buy the coif, and we have 23 gold to our name. But this is what we're going to be rocking with at the rock crabs. And we do have a plus 40 range bonus, which isn't too bad, I don't think, but at rock crabs it should be plentiful. So okay, so we just hit level 30 ranged and now can use the Maple Shortbow. So we have our level 37 range. We only have 106 steel arrows left, but we also do get a easy clue. So I'm gonna see if we can try and finish this. This is the last step, and I'm kind of hoping for a Zammy page, and we get not even close. I'm just gonna sell everything to the shop assistant here and just move on. So here we are starting the Spirits of the Elid quest, and right after this we're gonna go back to dragons, and we should only have like 10 to 15 bones left. Not a whole lot, I don't know the exact number, but this should put us almost there, right around 42 prayer, almost 43. Okay, jeez, wow, I got destroyed by that white golem up there. In this quest, there are 3 golems, and each golem requires you to use a certain attack style. And I am looking like I'm gonna have to invest all these coins into armor and a better set of weaponry. That is the first golem down. Yeah, the other golems proved to be way too difficult. I sold 200 death runes, and that's why I have such a large cash stack, and I got myself a mithril chain body, so we should be fine. Second golem down, and finally the third golem is down. You know, I am willing to guarantee that nobody in the history of this game has ever used either of these fishing spots. There's just no way. We have arrived back to Narda with the statuette, which should mean this will be the end of the quest of the Spirits of the Elid. Now, we do get our 8,000 prayer experience, which should get us level 42 prayer, as you saw there. So yeah, we're only about 5,000 experience away until we hit level 43, which will give us protect from melee. Then after that, we're done with the dragons. So here we are at Taberley Dungeon, and we just have about like 15-ish more dragon bones left to go, and that will get us to level 43 prayer. And after that, we don't have to kill any more blue dragons, at least for the foreseeable future, because after that, I think the only prayer we can unlock is Smite and Retribution, I think. So after a little bit of running up and down the Ectophantus area, we now have 43 prayer, which is a huge milestone on any account really, as this unlocks the final protection prayer to protect from melee. So now, we can protect 100% of damage from magic, range, and melee, which allows us to do a lot more PvM content without too much worry. We did get some pretty big milestone levels that I've been going after for a while now, that being 70 agility and 43 prayer. And speaking of 43 prayer, I'm now thinking of if I should try Barrows. And obviously these stats are certainly not up to par of doing consistent Barrows runs, which I am going to try and fix that pretty soon. But I do at least want to give it like a little test run or two just to see where we're at. We also do need to get 38 herb lore for prayer potions, gear like the D-Sibby, Amulet of Power, which I can get from Clue Scrolls, Clay's Gauntlets, and there's so much more I can improve my gear on. But that's all not in the too distant future. That is for another day. But for now, I thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.